Upon walking through the home just now, ladies and gentlemen, you could be forgiven for thinking that you were purchasing a property in one of the brand new estates. Having walked outside, however, you all of a sudden get hit with the reason as to why we really do believe that this property is as rare as hen's teeth. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the vendors, Stockdale and Lego, my name is Andy Reid, and alongside Joe Mooney, Jeff Cowan, Simon Batira, Emily Petty and Brooke Barnes, we are absolutely excited and proud to be representing this wonderful opportunity at 731 Dalmore Road in Cardinia. Now I'll commence proceedings by just going through the contract to sell and the vendor's statement. Now these have been on display for the past 30 minutes or so I don't wish to go through the entire contract. However, I will select the most important parts for your attention. First things first, under an option contract, the 3-day cooling off period does not apply. And what we're looking for here today, ladies and gentlemen, is an unconditional contract to sell with 5 to 10% deposit upon the signing of the contract and the balance in 60 to 90 days. Now there are a number of special conditions contained within the contract, and I don't wish to bore you with them all, ladies and gentlemen, here today. However, there are some that I do need to read out to you by law, so please bear with me. So by law, I must advise you that today's auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules in Schedule 1 for the Sale of Land Regulations 2014 and any other conditions that were available for inspection before the start of the auction. The auction rules permit the making of vendor bids on behalf of the vendor and prohibits the making of vendor bids by anybody other than myself as the auctioneer. During the auction, I will quite clearly state vendor bid when I am placing bids on behalf of the vendors, and I will indicate bidders upon request. A person cannot falsely claim that he or she made a bid, and the law prohibits a person from hindering bidding or causing a major disruption to the auction. Now there are fines imposable for anyone that does engage in prohibited conduct, so if we can all adhere to these rules, and it will make this process a rather enjoyable one. As the auctioneer, I may make one or more bids on behalf of the vendor during the auction, and I may refuse any bid. I may determine the amounts by which the bidding may be advanced, and I may withdraw the property from sale at any time. I may refer the bid to a vendor before the conclusion of the auction, and in the event of a dispute, I may resubmit the property for sale at the last bid, or indeed start the bidding over. The auctioneer must not accept any bid or offer for the property that is made after the property has been knocked down, unless the vendor or successful bidder refuses to sign the contract following the auction. If a reserve price has been set for the property and the property is passed in below that reserve price, the vendor will negotiate with the highest bidder. So ladies and gentlemen, I will let you know there is a reserve on today's property, so it's very, very much within your interest to make sure that you get your bids in nice and early and remain at the front of the pack. We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. I can feel the tension starting to rise, so I'll quickly go through the particulars of sale and then we'll get down to business. The vendor's agent is Stockdale and Lego Cranbourne of 207 South Gippsland Highway in Cranbourne. The vendor's solicitor is Conveyancing Resolutions of 1170 Bellato Road in Junction Village. The land is described in volume 10459, folio 331, and included in the sale today are all fixed floor coverings, window furnishings including vertical blinds and Holland blinds, dishwasher and floor coverings, and all fixtures and fittings of a permanent nature. The property address here today is known as 731 Dalmore Road in Cardinia, postcode 3978, and the planning and road access is covered by the Cardinia Planning Scheme. The responsible authority is, of course, our good friends at the Cardinia Council, and the zoning here today is Green Wedge. For rates and outgoings, we have Cardinia Council at $2,732.84 per annum, South East Water standing at $103.90 per quarter, and have services available for connection are electricity and the telephone lines, with water tanks and septic tanks connected to the home. But the most important document of all, ladies and gentlemen, is that little title which you all want to be on, I'm sure, which states that we are on lot number 6 on plan of subdivision 422353M on an approximate land size of 4.2 acres. Deep breath, ladies and gentlemen. Do we have any questions before we get started? All quiet on the floor. I will take that as a sign that we are ready to go. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, start your engines because the race for this unique property is about to begin. Within close proximity to suburbia, but within a gorgeous little community that is Cardinia, sits a property that provides both substance and style. That rare combination of modern home plus acreage is something that simply does not appear every day. Behind me here is a 4-bedroom home that provides plenty of room for the growing family. A clever floor plan that provides multiple living areas, an office space that would be absolutely ideal for a home business, lots of natural light and plenty of room to entertain. Recently redecorated and renovated, it really doesn't need anything doing to it other than simply moving in your furniture. Stepping out under the pergola though provides you with an absolutely wonderful view of the land that is accompanied with this property. Imagine walking out on a warm spring morning with a cup of tea or coffee, gazing over what would be your land and thinking, yeah, life is pretty damn good right now. Including in the land is fenced paddocks, truck access all the way to the rear, shedding that could become ideal for adjustment, and a dam to keep everything green during the summer. With a local primary school that prides itself on your child being more than just simply a number, general store and petrol station, Cardinia is itself that local town that gives you a big hug when you become a resident. If you require more infrastructure, however, you are close enough to Cranbourne. Even with a nana driver like myself behind the wheel, you can get to Cranbourne at all the shops and precincts and transport within the 15 minutes. But let's face it, we're all here for the unique proposition that this lifestyle property provides, and let's not waste any more time in finding out who's going to be lucky enough to call this property home. So now is the time, ladies and gentlemen, for action. Now is the time where I ask you what you are prepared to pay for 731 Dalmore Road in Cardinia. Who would like to get me started for this wonderful property? Start me wherever you like. Any opening bids out there on the floor? Ladies and gentlemen, I can understand that this is a tense time for those that are interested in buying the property today. So allow me to just let's break the ice and settle the mood a little bit, and I'll place a vendor bid. Okay, so I'll start the bidding off at $730,000, and I will ask for a $10,000 or $20,000 rise from here. Okay, so vendor bid with me at $730,000 and looking for a $10,000 or $20,000 rise. Well, I don't know about you guys, but you know, for me, this truly is one of these opportunities that doesn't come along very often. It is very, very simply a home that you would expect to see anywhere in a modern estate within a built-up area, Cranbourne or Pakenham or somewhere like that, and it would look absolutely in place in one of the more prestigious estates. Couple that with everything that we have here available, and we are looking at very, very good buying right here and now. Vendor bid with me at 730. We'll look at a bid coming out here from the floor. $730,000, ladies and gentlemen. I will call it for the first time. $730,000, ladies and gentlemen. I will call it for the second time. And bear in mind, ladies and gents, Miss Jo Mooney, tell me how many people we have interested on the property should this property pass in.
Last count, 11.
Okie dokie, you have it there yourself, ladies and gents, at $730,000. If this property passes in and it's on a vendor bid, you will have a lot more competition to face should you be interested in the home. You've heard it there, right from the horse's mouth. 11 potential bidders if this property passes in. $730,000 is the bid I have with a vendor bid. Someone's phoned a friend. $730,000, I'll call it for the third time, ladies and gentlemen. 740. 740,000. We have a genuine bidder over the phone. That's $740,000. That's $740,000 then with a genuine bid at 740. I will call 740 for the first time. inviting offers of $10,000 or $20,000 from here at $740,000. I'll call it for the second time. $740,000. I will call it for the third time, ladies and gentlemen. At $740,000 then, ladies and gents, if you just bear with me 2 minutes, I'll just call a half-time break. I'll just nip inside and refer the bid to my vendor. I'll be back out with you in a couple of minutes. Thanks for your patience. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks ever so much for your patience. As I'm sure you can understand, this is a big move for our clients as much as it is for you guys. At $740,000 is the bid I have to my left, your right. I will place a vendor bid on top of that just to try and get things moving along a little so that we can bring this thing together today. I'll place a vendor bid at $750,000 and invite another $10,000 rise from anyone on the floor today. At $750,000, vendor bid with me. I would like to end it on a bid from the floor at $750,000. $750,000 is the bid with me, and I will call it for the first time. $750,000. Eddie Maguire doesn't have this sort of drama, you know. Jeepers. Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. $750,000 is the vendor bid. I'm inviting anybody to put an offer in from the floor. You're more than welcome to put a $10,000 rise in from here at $750,000. Look around you, ladies and gentlemen. Take a big, deep breath of that fresh air. It's becoming a rare thing nowadays, trust me. $750,000. $750,000 is the bid I have. I will call it for the second time. $750,000. Mr. Batira, having been brought up in this area, it's $750,000. Would you consider that to be cheap buying?
Steal.
It's an absolute steal. You heard it from the man himself. That's $750,000. With me, vendor bid at $750,000. We'll allow for a little bit of a phone reception issue at $750,000. But look around you, ladies and gentlemen. You've got fence paddocks there that you can do whatever you want to with. If it was me, I'd build a little pitch and putt golf course if you ask me. However, it's absolutely ideal for pets, hobby horses, or anything of that sort of nature as well. The dam at the rear, you have the foundations there to build a wonderful little jetty. You can put some fish in there and entertain the kids all summer long. And then you're within a lovely little community that is Kidinia that you will not find very often anymore these days. They really do love their own and they will welcome you with open arms. At $750,000, ladies and gentlemen, vendor bid with me. Looking for a $10,000 rise from here. Thank you very much. At $760,000 is a genuine bid now on the floor with the lady to my left, your right. At $760,000 is the bid I have. To the remaining bidders that are waiting for this thing to pass in right now, this lady has first rights to negotiate with the vendor. She has earned that right to have that first crack at the contract. At $760,000 is the bid I have with this lady to my left. I will call $760,000 for the first time. Rest assured, we have motivated vendors here today, ladies and gentlemen. They want to put this thing to bed. At $760,000, I'll call it for the second time. $760,000, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe that's all the activity we're going to see today. For the third time, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, at $760,000, are we all finished and silent at $760,000? Okay then, ladies and gents, then for the last time, $760,000. Are we all done? Are we all silent? Okay then, ladies and gentlemen, all that leaves me to say is thank you ever so much for everybody who has attended today. We will be passing in the auction and referring it to our bidder here who has earned the right to first negotiate with the vendor. Thank you ever so much for your attendance. On behalf of Stockdown and Lego and the vendors, my name's Andy Reid. Take care, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Thank you ever so much, ladies and gents.